Okay, we're live, and this is Ronnie from the fruityronster.com website and obviously this YouTube channel, and I have a very interesting guest for you today in this first ever time that I've done this format, this Google Hangouts type interview format. So you want to stay in touch because I'm going to tell you an interesting story about my guest, and I consider him to be one of the most, I don't know what the right word is. He's his ideas, his recipes, his stuff has been stolen blatantly more more than anyone else in the raw food world, the raw food community. There's a couple about, I don't know, I'd say maybe a year ago, Robert made a video, and it was about these banana cinnamon rolls, these raw vegan banana cinnamon rolls, and it's a great recipe. But it just like exploded, and people started doing it on Instagram, and people doing it on YouTube, and then at the Woodstock Fruit Festival, which is the biggest raw food event in the world, they were being served there, and they were being served at other people's events, and people were being taught how to make these, and there was never any credit given to Robert. So I was just watching this and thinking, this is weird, this is interesting, and Robert is coming out now with his own book, so he has his own, all his recipes in a book. So if you want to get that, you can get that. And put it this way, this guy's ideas and recipes are so good that people are they just get, I don't want to use the word stolen, but they just get copied, and people try them out, and people are trying them all over the place. So that might be interesting to you to get hold of this book. So Robert, do you want to introduce yourself and let people know, like, who are you? Like, how did you get into this?
Definitely. So thank you very much for having me, Ronnie. I really appreciate an introduction. So I have been on the low-fat raw vegan lifestyle for about 4 years now. And I got started into health around 5 years ago in total. Mm-hmm. And essentially, in my childhood, I was really sick. I just felt terrible every day, was really lethargic, had constant stomach issues, tons of mucus problems, and essentially I was just a very sick kid. And so with that growing up, I really had to look for solutions to my sickness because it felt like I just couldn't progress in life and really have a good life and enjoy life. Mm-hmm. And so I felt like I really needed to get healthy. And so 1 year into my health journey, I originally found raw food through juicing. And from that, I started getting into eating more fruits and vegetables, started actually becoming fit, because in my whole childhood, I just had no energy. I was lethargic. So I just played video games all day long. But with a healthy lifestyle, I've really been able to be more creative, enjoy life more, just do so much more in my life. And one of those things that I do enjoy and love doing is creating really unique recipes that I haven't seen anywhere else before. And I just love that with fruits and vegetables, it's not like regular cooking where most of the ingredients are very bland and just you have to spice it all up. In raw foods, when you make recipes, each ingredient has flavor, and the potential of the flavor it's almost the less ingredients you use, the more flavor you get out of each ingredient. So it's finding that perfect balance of the number of ingredients so that you get the maximum flavor while not wasting any of the ingredients that you put in. So you enjoy the flavor in making delicious recipes, but they're like 3, 4, 5 ingredients, and they're the most simple and easy to digest recipes you've ever seen. So I just love really inspiring people to think creatively, whether it be in health, fitness, or making recipes, and really inspiring them to get started just living healthy.
Yeah, that's a great introduction to what you're doing. And let's go back to this cinnamon roll travesty that happened. This is the real drama that was going on. No,
in Woodstock, yes.
Yeah, I guess this is just in my own mind, because I always thought, I was seeing people doing your recipe, and I was like, that's Robert's recipe. Like, no one's giving him credit. And So what was the inspiration for that? The raw vegan cinnamon roll?
So the cinnamon rolls originated earlier this year, at the very start of the year, when I was getting ready to go to Thailand. So I was dehydrating bananas because it's like a 16-hour flight to Hong Kong and another 4 hours to Thailand. So it's a lot of time, and so
Sure.
I needed something to eat. And so what happened was I cut up bananas into thirds, and so they're long slices, and I dehydrated them. And then after that, I had them rolled up so that I can put them in a plastic bag and easily store them and take them onto the flight. But then what happened is once I started putting them into the bag, I realized they really do look like the middle of a cinnamon roll. And then I was thinking, wait, what would happen if I just took another piece of banana and kept wrapping and wrapping and wrapping, and then suddenly, wow, cinnamon rolls. And I was like, wow, what's gonna happen?
Yeah, that's excellent. And so, do you find that it's maybe like quite I don't know if it's important, or what do you think the benefits are of having more recipes like these for someone that's doing this lifestyle?
hmm
Um,
I think the recipes are really important for a lot of people because even with, let's say, 5 ingredients, those 5 ingredients, if you take each ingredient, you change
mhm.
the texture, you change the consistency, you change how much you use, just all those little minute differences, you create brand new recipes and the whole flavor is essentially different. And so in the middle of winter, like it is becoming now, you may not have the abundance, like let's say in Thailand, Costa Rica, or whatever. Like you and me,
Okay.
you're in Scotland, I'm in Canada. We don't have, we don't have
Yeah.
fruit trees growing right in front of our houses.
Yeah.
Um, so you're limited in ingredients. So eating the same exact orange juice every day, it's awesome. But after a while, you want more. And so because you don't have access to everything, you want to do the best with what you have. And so to do that, you have to make recipes that are truly unique. So then you feel like you're eating a brand new food. And you don't want to
Yeah.
make recipes that are really high fat and use oil and it'll slow you down. You want recipes that you would eat every ingredient by itself, essentially. And those recipes need to be simple to digest, make you feel great afterwards, and leave you just as good feeling as if you were just to eat mangoes or just to eat bananas. And so that's what I really love doing is making recipes that are just really creative, really interesting, and limiting the ingredients so that you can really feel great, get the most out of each ingredient, and just save the money too. No one likes spending $1 million on one recipe for a dinner. You want to make it as simple as possible so you can get the most amount of benefits from it.
Well, that's excellent. And did you see people making your recipes and stuff and the cinnamon rolls? And what did you?
For
Was it
sure.
compliment or?
It felt like almost everywhere I went. So after I made the recipe and released it, um, I just suddenly started seeing like half of my friends on Facebook, on Instagram, just making these, and I got a number of shoutouts. But eventually, slowly, more people made them from seeing them from other people, and then I was just starting to like spread among the internet like crazy. And then I went to the Woodstock Fruit Festival, and then I saw Chef Alicia, the head chef at the festival, and she told me like, wow, she was so inspired by the recipe and she was going to use it, and it ended up being served, I think, on the end of the first week or early second week for one of the lunches. And it was pretty crazy because you saw people like literally agitated waiting for these. I remember Jake Ironmonger telling me like these people were like ravenous just trying to get these cinnamon rolls and like they just couldn't wait. And it was
Yeah.
funny, just like how much this recipe like impacted people. It really surprised me. And then I went to more events and I kept seeing it pop up, and it really amazed me that people were so attracted to these recipes. And it does suck. I don't really get the credit for that often, but I still am. I feel honored that people are so excited to try all these recipes, and it inspires me that other people are inspired by my recipes.
Yeah.
So it makes me interested in keep creating new recipes that can really help people and like get them really motivated to keep on this lifestyle and keep being healthy.
Yeah, because that's it's funny because I've known people that are maybe not doing a fully raw lifestyle or they're doing a high raw lifestyle or whatever, And sometimes you can just give them one recipe or one thing, and they'll say, "Oh well, if I was making this, it would be so much easier to stay raw or to
Yeah.
stay on a healthier lifestyle, or whatever. If I had access to recipes like this, or if I had the knowledge." And the other thing I would say is, it's actually. Do you think it's quite difficult to really come up with these recipes on your own? Like personally, I find I keep on making mistakes when I try and
Hmm.
if I just see a picture and I try and make something, it never really works out the same as what someone else has shown me. Like I sort of need the actual ingredients and stuff. I just
For
don't have
sure.
that.
It can be challenging because, like I said before, you're dealing with fresh ingredients, fruits and vegetables. And though the thing is, like, each ingredient has so much flavor in it, sometimes for specific dishes, when you try to get that perfect flavor of a certain ethnicity that you're used to, or a certain dish that you're used to,
Mm.
just the wrong proportions just either make it too watery, or it's too thick, or it's just like you just added that little bit too much of green onion that just makes it too spicy to even eat. And so it takes a lot of time to get used to it, and really refining all of the your ability to understand how much is enough of each ingredient. It's always finding that balance of everything you put in, and not adding in too much and not adding in too little. And it's a balance that I've been working on for the past 4 years. And I finally got to the point where I can really say, I understand when I put in one ingredient into a recipe, usually what kind of flavor it will give. And so that enables me to be creative and think of what's possible. And so I really hope to help people because it takes a long time to get to that point. So instead of taking like the 4 years it took me, you can just get the recipes and start making delicious food immediately. And it's just like, why not?
Yeah, and you brought up obviously we brought up the Woodstock Festival, and um, that's where we met a couple of years ago.
Mhm.
Woodstock. What's that taught you? I mean, did you learn a lot from that event, and
The
what's
biggest
your thoughts
thing
on
I
that?
learned from Woodstock, the first year that I went, the biggest thing I learned is the diversity of opinions in this movement.
Sure.
Because online, it's a very the people who are the most popular have the loudest mouths typically in this movement,
Right.
and so their opinion is what's almost the cultural norm online. But when you go to these events and you see the people themselves who are successful, all the different attendees even, or the people, the speakers, they all have such diverse opinions on whether how many calories to eat, whether dry fasting is good, or what's too much fat, and all these different opinions about so many different topics. And I found it super valuable because it enabled me to open my mind and not just blindly listen to people who were very popular on the internet, but get all these different opinions and make a decision for myself. And that's helped me become even healthier. And I find Woodstock Fruit Festival is awesome for that, getting a lot of different opinions, and also just the feeling of community, because you really bond with people there, and everyone's just there to grow essentially. And so it's a very, you don't run into like a brick wall like when you
Yeah.
talk to some people in your day-to-day life, where like they're just kind of stunted and they don't feel like they want to move from their current situation. But
Yeah.
people who are crazy enough to eat fruits and vegetables like
Yeah.
as their whole calorie source, they're willing to grow, they're willing to change. And
Sure.
so helping each other grow is so much easier because you get to just really bond, talk to each other about interesting topics, and
Yeah.
really get to know each other and see where you can go
Yeah.
next in your life.
It's great. One thing I was going to say as well, I mean, recipes are obviously great, very valuable, but for a lot of people, what they're struggling with, I think, when they start off is how to buy stuff, where to buy it, you know, some of the what to do in their kitchen, things like that.
Hmm.
Do you have any advice, or is there any way you can help people with that kind of stuff, these sort of basics?
Definitely. Those basics, like especially getting the produce, is one of the hardest parts of making recipes a lot of the time, because you see the recipes online, they require like 20 ingredients. Some of them are dehydrated, some of them you have to buy online, and like it's just a pain in the butt to get everything. And so to make that easy, all the recipes are essentially the ingredients you can find in your local supermarkets. But also because some people it's just, if you live in really big cities, like if you go to Whole Foods, a lot of the food's just overpriced there. And so
Sure.
it's hard to just find places with cheap produce. And one of the things while making recipes that I really focused on too was, where do I get cheap produce? Because I don't want to be wasting my money every single week when all I'm eating is fruits and vegetables. I need to find out where are the best places I can buy them at.
Yeah.
And so for that, I created a guide for helping people get easy ways to start buying produce at really cheap prices. It's called the Fruit Lover's Guide to Buying Cheap Produce. And this guide is a guide with 5 techniques that I found to be pretty much the best techniques possible for buying produce in the majority of westernized countries. And so these techniques are ones I use every single week. And I got papayas for like $1 with these techniques. I've bought 40-pound cases of organic bananas for $5. And it's really crazy the kinds of deals you can find if you just know where to look, what to ask. And it's just, it's a process you just need to learn. And
Yeah.
buying produce is essential because you want to get the highest quality produce for the cheapest prices. You don't want to dish out money just to get like produce that's inedible, doesn't taste good. And so with this guide, I really help you out to find where you can get the high quality produce and at cheaper prices than you're even paying right now. And even though that sounds like it'd be a really hard thing to do, if you understand the principles of how food is sold to you and like the distribution,
Right.
where it goes from all the third parties to you, it's really not that hard, and you can get amazing deals.
Right. Yeah. It's all these little practical details that put
Hmm.
people off in a sense, and you know, having the recipes, having some of the other knowledge and everything else is really great for people that are beginning or starting off. So um, let's talk about your book that you've got. What's in this book, and
Hmm.
uh, is what kind of recipes and how many, and just give us a lot of detail there. And is there anything else coming along with it?
For sure. So the
Just
recipe book is called Robert's Awesome Recipe Guide, and it's essentially the best recipes that I've created for the past 4 years that I've been on this lifestyle. And essentially, the book has over 40 delicious recipes that I've made sure each one is easy to digest. It doesn't have too many ingredients. It's simple enough to make, and it just tastes amazing. And what I focused on is the most amount of diversity possible from each recipe. So this recipe guide is there to inspire you to create the recipes, but also to see what's possible with just fruits and vegetables and start getting creative. So I have recipes that are from Eastern European cultures like Poland, which my whole background is from, or like Greek, and all sorts of different ethnicities, food from different ethnicities, but also more standard recipes or foods that we're used to, like French fries or donuts. And the point of the guide is to really just help you see what's possible with fruits and vegetables. We have such a limited view because when we grow up, we don't really almost mess with fruits and vegetables for most people. Like I just barely eat fruits and vegetables at all, let alone use them culinarily. And so when you get exposed to what's possible, it's amazing because you can make pancakes, cupcakes, cinnamon rolls, pizzas, soups, veggie rolls. Like, it's limitless potential. And that's what I really hope to teach people with this recipe guide, as well as getting them amazing dishes, especially now since it's almost the holiday season. So for Christmas, this is the perfect guide to get. And then along with the guide, like I said, I'm going to be offering the Fruit Lover's Guide to Buying Cheap Produce, so you can get your produce really cheap, and so you don't have to stop wasting your money that you really shouldn't be on lower quality produce. And then I'm also
Yeah.
going to be offering the Raw Food Kitchen Essentials video guide, which is a nice and short video guide that's going to show you the highest quality tools you should get for your kitchen if you're looking to really stack your kitchen out. And so I know some people buy like $3,000 juicers that just, sure, they juice well, but are they really worth your money? Personally,
Right.
I want to focus on the appliances that gets you the most for your money and make you save time, make you able to create recipes that are just really unique that you couldn't have before. And I want to help show you what I know is the highest quality appliances so you don't waste your money and it breaks down in 2 or 3 months. These are appliances I've been using for years typically, and so I know that they have stood the test of time. And especially a lot of these products have very long warranties, so the companies themselves know that they're not junk. They really make them to last. And then the last bonus that I'm also offering with the recipe book is the food combining cheat sheets, which when you're making recipes I think is really essential because you want to feel just as good after your meal as when you're eating it. And so food combining really ensures that you feel awesome afterwards.
Well, Robert, that's great. But the thing that's coming into my mind is that all that information, all that stuff, I'm thinking, it's am I going to have the cash to be able to afford this, or or other people? Like that sounds like a lot of different things. You're maybe talking $15 or whatever per book there.
Mhm.
What's that adding up to? $60 or something, or 70? I mean,
Yeah,
but
it's the thing is I really want to help people succeed, and so I don't want to make money an issue that people have to worry about because like when you want to make recipes, it's something that can help you get over your cravings and stick on this lifestyle. And so I want to really help enable you to stay on this and feel healthy and feel vibrant from eating fresh fruits and vegetables. And so I really want to make this as easy as possible for you to get. And so I'm offering this whole package of the recipe guide and the 3 bonuses for only $19.99. And I'm going to be offering this for the next 7 days so that everyone can get the whole package right before Christmas and get ready making new delicious dishes for their family and other loved ones. Or when they're starting the next new year, they can get started on a good step and then really start to make this part of your lifestyle, something that you can really achieve. And that's what I really want to enable people with this, not to be stuck with just plain old fruits and vegetables, but inspired to keep making delicious food and
yeah,
just imagine what's possible. And so I want to make this as easy as possible for people to get into.
yeah. Well, that's great, and obviously, yeah, we'll put the link down below to your page. It's fruitfile.com for the website, and there'll be a link there for what Robert's speaking about, his new book and all that other stuff that comes along with it. Um, so as I was saying, this is Robert's recipes. I've had a look through the book already, and it's really impressing me. Um, so I would recommend it gets my seal of approval for sure, and all the other stuff. I I kind of feel like I've neglected people by maybe not making more videos or more things about either recipes or the produce buying thing and all that, because it is an important issue and people could be saving a lot of money if they know the right places to go. So you're kind of inspiring me as well to sort of start helping other people with that as well, that aspect of it.
Awesome.
Um, so yeah, and this is really Robert's recipes have been proven. They've inspired other people. They've been showcased at big events around the world and stolen and what well, not stolen, but they've inspired other chefs. So you can be pretty assured that there's going to be some great ideas in there. And sometimes even if you just get one recipe, sometimes that's one or two recipes can make a huge difference
For
in
sure.
in the amount of things I learned a few recipes at Woodstock and a number of things that even like just now as we came on the call, I was eating the Kentucky Fried Cauliflower sort of recipe that was at Woodstock, and just just one recipe you use again and again and again, and it's with any kind of recipe guide like that, and it's certainly with yours, you do end up using it again and again because it's just so much to go back to and things to experiment with. So that's great. I mean, thanks for putting all that together for people.
For
And
sure.
when is that finishing? I think when are you gonna that offer that you made? When's that finishing?
The offer finishes on December 19th.
Okay.
And so I want to make it right before Christmas so people aren't buying last minute, worrying about it, but have a good amount of time to get ready for the holidays and get set up so that they can really do this and not try to do last minute shopping 2 minutes before, but have a head start.
Awesome. Awesome. So what else is in your, apart from that, what else is in your future? Like, what are you working on at the moment? Are you going to be going away anywhere else this year, or?
For sure. I'm gonna be doing quite a bit of traveling here in 2015. I'm gonna be going to the Woodstock Fruit Festival in Hawaii, and then probably chilling in Hawaii for the next month or so. From there, I'm gonna be going to Southeast Asia, thinking about Bali, Malaysia, Thailand, exploring there for 2 or 3 months, and then afterwards, I'm gonna come back and go to the Woodstock Fruit Festival in New York. And so I have a pretty travel-packed 2015, which I'm
Fantastic.
really excited for. And I'm going to be recording videos at all the events and sharing my experiences, sharing some of the recipes there, and just trying to inspire people to get on this lifestyle and just see how much fun it is.
Yeah, that's great. So if people don't like your recipes, they can come and find you at Woodstock or somewhere and
Yeah.
let you know.
Yeah, we can we can have a nice little chat, talk about
Yeah.
just what they hate about my recipes.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. So great. So just to let everyone, just to remind everyone, that's what 19th of December. That offer's open, and there's a lot of great stuff there. So go and check it out. And for more information on Robert, he's got a YouTube channel, Fruitfile. It's still called Fruitfile. Yeah. And your website's fruitfile.com.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. Well, thanks for joining me today, Robert. And as ever, if you liked or enjoyed this video, please share it with others and subscribe to this channel for more interviews, and give me a like or a comment down below if you'd like more formats like this or interviews with people, and who would you like to see being interviewed. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Awesome. See ya.